matter today. Putting some rounds through my new Shadow 2 Compact. See right here, I've already probably put several mags through it, probably close to 100 rounds now, no failures. Getting used to that double action pull, never fire double action. It's kind of hard to be accurate with that for me. But you know, practice, you know, if I can be somewhat accurate and still be safe while carrying it, because I do want to consider this as a part of my rotation. We'll see. Nice gun though, it has a good weight to it, but not too heavy. I got some 115 grain Magtech FMJ. Then we got some Armscor 147 grain FMJ. We're gonna run the 115 first, which is what I've been primarily running from Magtech. There might have been a little bit of Federal mixed in there somewhere. But yeah. Okay, and I just been practicing just lowering the hammer here, you know, because if I'm going to carry it, I got to get used to doing this. I've been practicing at home with dummy round the top. I ain't gonna lie, definitely a mild, super mild anxiety doing that in my basement at home. You know, I got 2 kids. Of course, you know, I make sure it's pointed out in a safe spot while I'm doing it, but you know, I haven't had any issues or anything where it slipped that off my thumb or anything, so just gotta be careful, that's all. But yeah, we're about 7 yards here. Start out in double action. It's a long pull. I think they say about 10 pounds, and it feels every bit of 10 pounds. Long pull, long pull. Okay. But it's short. The reset is extremely short. I don't normally shoot with iron, so trying to find myself here. I think I found myself. Pulling down on this. A little sloppy, couple flyers, pulled some. I had one surprise me there. Went up top. Okay. Now we're gonna run the 147 grain from Armscor. It's the first time running 147 grain. I'm gonna drop the hammer. I think they call that quarter cock, not sure. Really pulling with this gun. I need to clean it up. I ain't shot with iron sights in a while. Recoil is not bad at all. Let a couple rip there in the end. Not good. But that target is dead. Definitely need to practice more. That's a long pull. No holster yet, so that's why I'm kind of walking around with it freely here. I'm at the range. So I got 2 more magazines. This one has a mix of Magtech and Federal 115 grain. And I got a probably 1 or 2 Winchester silver tip defense rounds in here. You never know, you might run into some werewolves But yeah, I think that's one right there. And this one right here, this is all silver tip, because this is the ammo that I've bought. I try to find stuff on budget defense ammo. This is the stuff that was on sale, decently priced without, you know, spending an arm and a leg. So I'm going to run it through this Shadow here and make sure she eats it all up. I got 15 in here and 1 or 2 into this mixed mag. But I'm going to do the full mag first. So go, drop the hammer, getting used to that double action. Real quick, I'll go over it more when I'm back. I like the trigger guard. The trigger is nice. That single action trigger is real nice. You know, you got your 3-stop pick rail, and you got your safety. This safety here, I mean, it works, but like, I think you might be better off carrying double action with the safety off, because honestly, if I have that safety on, you know, I don't know if I could. I'm not confident I can carry. I'll have to practice draws when I have a holster more. For now, I would say leave it off. I think they said they have extendeds, but you know, it's whatever it costs. You know, more money for a gun that was already $1,300. So, anyways, Winchester 115 grain silver tips, defense rounds here, hollow points. Let's see if she eats them up. That trigger is so short, it's kind of hard for me to pick up on it sometimes. Ate up all the silver tips. This is a mixed bag. I'm just gonna let them fly. Single action. Ran them all. Very nice. 10 yards. CZ Shadow 2 compact. Ten yards, CZ Shadow 2 compact, all dead center, right in the middle. We'll call this Swamp Fox Liberty 2 zeroed. I am over 300 rounds with the CZ Shadow 2 compact. I have this dot zeroed. So we have a fresh target. I don't know how well you can see that here. I got the GoPro cam on my head. I put a 0 right here earlier, so this is about where I'm zeroed. So there's a nice big hole there, so we'll see if it holds up. I got 2 15-round mags, and then one with it's not full. It's the last of my ammo. I think 5 or 6 rounds. I'm not sure in the third one. So the third one won't be a full mag, but we're gonna put all 35, 40, whatever it is, probably a little under 40. All here at 10 yards. I just want to show the target. We're going to be aiming right here for the chest. And we are going to go back 10 yards here. I do not have a holster. It is coming though from Slim, I think it's Slim Fit, I think. Anyways, we are at 10 yards here. Actually, I already have one in the chamber, so it's 15 plus 1. Then I'm going to go right to the next one. So I'm just going to start off maybe a little slow here, and I'm going to pick it up. You probably can't see the target here that well, but yeah, we're going to put all these rounds down here, two mags and with a couple extras. Shooting a little low. Still trying to learn a trigger. We're going to pick up the pace here. I was shooting a different gun here, so the trigger kind of throws me off a little bit. There's at least 5 in here, maybe 6. This is one of those Metgar mags. It's a 16 rounder. It's real cheapy looking, but they run, I think it's CZ75B compact, I think. I have to double check that. Is it not? Huh. CZ75B compact. Not sure what the deal with that was. Might have been just the way I was pulling back the rack. Must have been me. But you can see here, obviously I got some that, there's one right here outside the box. Right there. And a lot of them are right through here. And I obviously... just doing a follow-up here from the range here with the CZ Shadow 2 compact. I have 350 rounds through it roughly, and no malfunctions. I did put some Winchester 115 grain hollow points through it, the silver tips, excuse me. I did put 115 grain Magtech, a little bit of 115 grain Federal, and then I even had some Armscore 147 grain FMJ. Ran it all, no problems, no failures, gun's flawless. I didn't even lube it. It was already extremely oiled. You can't tell as much because I've wiped it off, but even when I got it out of the box, you can tell it was well oiled. It was kind of coming out the seams here. So I don't want to make this real long because I have a bit of footage I want to try to include with this gun, but I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but just real quick, we'll go over the dislikes here real fast. The safety is negative. I do not recommend the safety at the moment, but I haven't really practiced with it a lot yet. You should be able to activate and deactivate it, but honestly, to activate it, I feel like I have to break my grip to get it up there. Deactivating it is definitely a little easier, but don't want to keep beating a dead horse. But I don't care for the safety, and if you do decide to carry this, I would recommend double action which will bring me to another dislike, is that if you're going to run it double action and you have one in the chamber and you are going to carry this gun, you will have to manually decock it. So I just already kind of pulled back on the hammer here a little bit, and then I just pulled the trigger, and then there you go. Just be careful. Just be careful if you're at home, doing that. If you decide to carry it double action, and you're going to have to lower the hammer yourself. So just point in a safe direction and, be very careful. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have, especially CZ people, have probably done it 1,000 times. This is the first gun I've ever had with double action, so that's a new thing to me. That's the other con. I'd say the other con here, and it's not really even a true con, is the slide is narrow. So you do have a little less real estate, but all that said, even though it has a little bit less real estate, I don't have any issue racking the gun at all. The serrations are good. So with that, I will go into the good for the gun, because that's, oh, excuse me. Let me back up real quick. And then the last con, before I get into the good, is when you do put an optic on it, this is not the stock plate, okay? This is an Impact Machine RMR plate that I had purchased, because if you go to put a red dot on this gun, you will lose your rear sight. That to me is a con. I don't really think that should be a thing, but that just could be me. So I bought the plate to put on there. So I just wanted to point that out. So if you're watching this, this is not a stock configuration. If I had put a dot on here, it would just be the dot. There wouldn't be any sight. So, and if you are wondering about the impact, there it is. It sits pretty low because the deck height on this Liberty 2 is pretty high, but I do get the co-witness with it, and it works. And I just like having it. That's all. I'm mainly shooting just with red dots anyways. I just like having the rear sight there, just in case. So but that's up to you. You obviously don't need the rear sight if you're running a red dot. So I just wanted to point that out real quick, okay? But going back into the likes, like I said, serrations are good. If you want to put a light on it, there's your pick rail. I do like these aluminum grips. Like my hands are even sweaty right now. And the nice thing about them is they don't feel abrasive, but you get a nice, good purchase on the gun. It feels good in the hand and it doesn't move. They have a little bit of that same texture on the mag release right here, which is extended. You got a nice beaver tail here. I really like them. I'm a fan of 2011 style guns, 1911s. So this is awesome. I really do dig this. Another like here real quick is the trigger is very good. Okay, so you have your double action pull. Okay, so I'm gonna lower it right here. I did run my gauge. I had a hard time getting a I don't even know if I even showed you this, but it is unloaded. I don't want to waste too much time here. Okay, so I think it's around a 8 to 10 pound trigger. I had a hard time getting an accurate reading just because of how hard it is to pull the gauge against the trigger and how heavy the trigger is. But let me lower this to get the double action. So, there's kind of like your wall, and then you're just going to pull, fight your way through that, and then you get the break. So it's a long pull, and I don't know the exact weight because I couldn't get a proper reading and I didn't see what they said. Oh, excuse me there. But yeah, it's a 10 pounds, 8 to 10 pound trigger for sure. I did run the gauge on the single action trigger, which show you here real quick. That's kind of like your wall right there, and then it just breaks. The single action pull is 3 pounds. Actually, I would say it's actually slightly under 3 pounds according to my gauge. Around 2 pounds, 10 ounces is kind of what I'm getting. So it's a real light trigger. So if you want to run it single action and carry this gun, if I was you, I would put the safety on. But then you run into the issue of deactivating it in case of emergency, and it's not very pronounced. You can see here that's the slide release, which sticks out a lot further than this safety that you're going to have to deactivate when you pull the gun out. Okay, just want to point that out. I think someone said you can get the bigger ones from the Big Brother, the regular Shadow 2, which sticks out a little further than that. I would have loved to see a 2011 style safety on there. I think that would have been great, something you could ride onto and you wouldn't have any issue. And I'd run the gun in single action with the safety on and carry it that way. But with the way the safety is, I'd probably run double action, okay? But that's just me. Outside of that, one other thing about the trigger is that, here real quick, is that the wall is there, but it's not really defined. But the wall is there. You have to pull real slow, but you can roll through this trigger really easy. So it's kind of a rolling break is what you're going to get from this trigger, because I've probably had a little bit of trigger freeze with it, probably, I don't know, I'd say about 3 times running it, just because I'm not picking up on the wall sometimes. Sometimes I'm just kind of rolling through it. You actually, I think, might see it once or twice actually in my footage. So that's not really a negative. That's because it's a great single action trigger, and this is my first single double action, so getting used to the double action pull is something I'm gonna have to do as well. But yeah, I just have to kind of just get more used to the trigger. That's just kind of more on me, but it is kind of a roll and break for the trigger. Okay, it does come with a the 4-inch barrel. I believe it's a hammer forged barrel. And then it comes with a front red fiber optic sight as well. And like I said, you will lose the rear sight if you put an optic on, unless you buy a custom plate from Impact. So anyways, I want to wrap this video up because I want to include other footage and I don't want to make this video super. So anyways, in conclusion, first impression, beautiful gun, runs great, 350 rounds, ran some hollow points, silver tip Winchester, some 147, 115, no failures, ate them all up. So I'm going to march this gun all the way to 1,000 rounds. It'll probably take a while because ammo is expensive. And I have a few handguns I have to kind of go through as well with it. But if there's anything I didn't touch on here real quick, just post a question down in the comment section. I don't want to make super long videos. But yeah, just post it up and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.